Yo, good people. It's your homie Herbman, and you back upside the head with another, you guessed it, hot banger boogie. Hey, look, go tell somebody your homie Herbman is on. And if you're new to this platform, welcome. Go ahead and hit that logo right at the bottom of your screen. And don't forget to hit that notification bell so that you never miss what we bring to the table. And remember, it is free to like, share, and subscribe. Now, what are we talking about today? Let's get right down to it. We're talking about the gut and the brain connection. And we're also talking about how these two connections could also affect our immune system. Now, how is this physically possible? Through a thing called the vagus nerve, okay? That connects the brain to the gut. Now, with that understanding, we also got to understand that there's about 100 million cells that line the gastrointestinal tract. And that is what we call the second brain, okay? These particular cells send signals and messages back and forth through from the brain to the gut, all right? It's the real reason why you have that gut feeling, all right? Or why you have butterflies in your stomach, okay? And so we know that this has always been a connection there. But a lot of times in history, we felt as though the brain affected the gut. So when you were stressed out, or when you were depressed, or when you had anxiety attacks, therefore that was a contribution to maybe why you had upset stomach, or maybe why you had an irritable bowel, or maybe why you had some gastrointestinal inflammation or something like that. But now we're finding out the reverse, that maybe due to your gastrointestinal inflammation, or due to your irritable bowel syndrome, or due to the fact that you have irritation in the stomach area, that may be the reason for your depression, your anxiety, and your stress. And so that is a new thing that we definitely need to talk about and understand, because on this particular video here, what I want to discuss and highlight is that if we're eating unhealthy, that may be contributed to why we are thinking unhealthy. Okay, nobody's really linked mental health to a poor diet. Nobody's really linking our mental incapabilities of getting along with one another here on planet Earth. Okay, how we tend to flock to violence, to abuse, to sexual abuse, to all these different egregious acts toward one another. And we are not linking it to maybe the unhealthy substances that we're putting into our food, to our systems. You know, the unhealthy way we think about food, way we think about life here on earth, all right, could be all attributed to what we put inside of our bodies. See, because really the number one thing is the gut microbiome, which is about 70% of your immune system. So in my mind, if you're not eating proper foods that give you proper nutrition, that keeps your body at a homeostasis, then you're eating an unhealthy diet. And if that, in retrospect, can alter our moods based on our central nervous system, right? Then that means that now you're thinking unhealthy thoughts. You have a mental unhealthiness. You have a mental health issue. All right. And so when I'm not eating the proper foods, that is lowering my immune system. When I'm not eating the proper foods, it may be related to why I am stressed, depressed, and anxious, which those three things also diminish my immune system. So then how can we win? The key is what we put into our bodies. Remember that this is the communication between the enteric nervous system and the central nervous system. So the enteric nervous system, to me, involves everything that enters our body, from our brain to what we eat. And when you're talking about adding the immune system in there, then it also is about what enters us from a viral, bacterial, and fungal aspect. So once we can control what enters our bodies, we make sure that we have healthy thoughts and intellect. which then will allow us to eat healthy because we have the healthy understanding of what to eat and how to eat it, okay? How to cook it, how to prepare it, how to grow it. And because we are healthy here, then everything that goes in the gut is healthy, okay? And because everything that goes in the gut is healthy, it's keeping our immune system so strong that we never fall victim to sickness or disease. So this is why knowledge is power, because you cannot really think healthy without healthy information to think on. So it behooves us to understand and to gravitate to platforms like this that will teach us and open up our mindsets, open up our intellect to new and different ways, what we call alternative ways to heal ourselves, to eat right, but also to think right, to feel right about life, to feel right about ourselves, to know what the body deserves, to give the body what it deserves in order for you to get out of the body optimal performance in every area of life, from your careers to your sex life to your financial life to your social life, to be at the peak, at the top of the echelon, at every stage of life, from childhood to teenage, to young adult, to adult, to elderly life. Optimal performance out of the body. And what is one of the key things that we need to eat? Fiber. Prebiotic foods are foods that are going to be high in fiber, most likely water-soluble fiber that your body can easily break down and digest. It promotes a more healthy digestive system. So high fiber foods is one of the things that we tend to eat in our indigenous era. It was high energy foods and high fiber foods, because we control what went in us. And with the prebiotics, it controls what comes out of us, and it helps us eliminate the excess. And then there's another option of probiotic foods, which is live bacteria, to change out the bad bacteria in the gut. Because when we're talking about the gut microbiome, we're talking about bacteria that can benefit us, that can be harmless to us, and also that could be harmful. And what we want to do is tip the tides over to allow it to be good bacteria that really benefits the body. And we don't necessarily have to kill off the bacteria that's not harmful to us, that's harmless. So we just need the harmless and the good bacteria to work together in harmony to keep the body super immune. And with this means that we need to make sure that we're putting into our bodies the right foods. So no, you can't have processed foods and refined sugars. And no, you can't have mucus forming and acidic forming foods, because that will irritate the gastrointestinal tract, right? And then that will alter the moods. So when we're looking at the violence in our world, when we're looking at the abuse, the division, the wars, you have to ask yourself, if we're thinking like this, then we must be eating unhealthy to have this much egregiousness towards one another. We're eating the most egregious diets, so we have the most egregious attitude toward one another. And we need to change this perspective. So when you're on this channel, you're looking at herbs, you're looking at foods, understand that we're trying to give you what is indigenous, what is natural to your body. It also teach you what is natural to the land. But it all boils down to taking health back into your own hands and make self-healing practical for you and your family. With that being said, I love you guys, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. And until next time, peace. Love, Herbman.